am somebody.
I am somebody.
I am capable and lovable.
I am capable and lovable.
I am teachable.
I am teachable.
I can learn.
I can learn.
I can try.
I can try.
I will achieve.
I will achieve.
Each day.
Each day.
I will not waste time.
I will not waste time.
It is too valuable.
It is too valuable.
I am somebody.
I am somebody.
I am special.
I am special.
This is how I motivate my kids every morning, and they love it.
For those of you, and this is your first time with us, we're with Minnesota Humanities, and this is our first African Immersion. We're very excited about the day, and we can tell that you're excited about it too because you're here.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Are you happy with me this morning?
Yes.
We should be happy this morning. I am very honored and excited to be part of this. Let's call it a project for now, because this is the first time, in my opinion, I think, the story of African immigrants is being kind of explained. All of us in this bus, in many ways, are making history. We are slowly writing a story of people that came from different parts of Africa in search of education, in search of new home, in search of peace, in search of liberty.
I came here, started school, got married, and had kids, and I just loved it. Everything was fun. Everything to me was fun. Little did I know that you have to go through a process, cultural shock, working with Americans. It was tough. It was tough. For me, I have moved from OPS and I've moved to another school, youth rings. I'm working with the kids who refuse to go to school. And from the beginning, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to work with the kids that are, people say they're crazy, they cannot learn. I believe they can learn. So I've always wanted to work with those kind of kids. And those are the kids I'm working with right now. I'm working at youth things.
Now, what I didn't know is there's another group within Somalia. They were the Somali Bantu community. And they are an ethnic Bantu community that were brought to Somalia as slaves centuries ago. And so the Somali Bantu, even though they were from Somalia, did not necessarily connect, identify, want to work with the ethnic Somalis here. It has taken probably 10 years for the community, I think, to start to work together and not be so divided.
I am originally from Nigeria. My husband is also from Nigeria. We moved here a couple of years ago. Normally watch all these cowboy movies, and so when I came, we moved directly to Denver, Colorado. So I was expecting to see all these cowboys and all of this, but it was not so. And the fact that I'd left my entire family behind was really, really hard for me because I needed to make or form new relationships. And that was really hard for a culture that you don't know anything about.
In the city, I actually have had the chance over the last 5 years or so to work with a lot of young men and young women, but mostly young men from the Sudanese community, as well as a few young men from the Somali community in the area of leadership and personal development, as well as a basketball coach and a mentor in so many other ways. And so with that, I'm also a poet, and one of the young men that I'm going to introduce to you, Ahmed Kerala, a couple of years ago, I introduced poetry in a sense to Ahmed, and he kind of picked up on it, and since then he has participated in a slam competition for representing Omaha Burke.
I like it a lot. It helps me escape from the realities of this obviously cruel world, but I'll be sharing today a piece with you that I call The Color of My Skin. In secrecy to try and make amends, for it's only you who sees the silent rage that I hide behind a fake smile. to shield myself from the ridicule and the haze, convincing myself that it's only a phase, that one day the insults, the shame, and the pain will all just fade. And now you might not see me for who I might actually be. All I can hope is that you see me for anything but the color of my skin.
Because one cold November night, I lost my brother to a coward-ass drive-by. It all happened so fast. It really felt so strange. I was numb to the pain. It all happened right in front of my house. Crime lab, yellow tape. I really couldn't comprehend. Might have been the herb, alcohol, might even been the Zan. That made me so numb to the pain. Then I stumble, catch myself. I proceed to stumble again. I look up to view a man with a cane, cough up a blood stain. I look up again to see. I'm sorry, y'all. That's all I got for right now. My name is John Root, but my government name is John. I can't say that, But at home I go by John. It means journey. Yeah, it's been a real tough journey for me, I graduated from Bryan Senior High School.
Well, from here, we're going to African farms. Don't worry, we're not taking you to the farm. We just want to show you how we shop, what kind of food our people eat, the most part. In the past 10 years, we are blessed in Omaha to have few African stores in Omaha.
My name is Felix, and then I'm here in Omaha, Nebraska. This business has been here for 12 years now. I started this business from my apartment complex, the one-bedroom apartment, and the main purpose of getting into this business basically was to serve the African community, to get what they really cannot get. In the past, like 10, 20 years ago, somebody was telling me that Africans in Omaha used to travel all the way to Kansas City just to get what they need, or Texas and Des Moines, Iowa. So that's not in Nebraska at all.
In Africa, most of us like a lot chicken and goat and lamb, depending on where you're coming from. Sometimes region you belong to determines what kind of food you eat. Also fish. So for most of us, you don't usually have goats easily in Walmart or where. So Felix and some other people arranges from different farms to have it provided for us. So
we call them griots, community griots. It's West African, the word griot, which simply means what? The teacher, the teller. And so in each community that we go into, we get to hear those voices.
And to hear a story that can help us to kind of put faces and names and direct experience to what it means to be immigrant in Omaha.
The obstacles we faced, English, of course, any migrant or refugee will tell you that. It was very tough, very hard to find a way to go through everything with our translators, to find a place to go to shop or something like that. It didn't take that long for me and my siblings to go to school, but again, English was the main hard thing to get used to it. So.
I was about 5 years old, and very confusing time in my life, you know, to where we were in a situation where we had to flee away from our home in South Sudan. Found ourselves in a refugee camp that was in the middle of nowhere in Ethiopia, you know, and as a kid, it was really hard for me to really comprehend everything that was going on. I'm from a family of 7 kids, mom and a dad. When I was in Africa, all I know about Africa was that refugee camp. It was called Dima. My family was fortunate to come here in 1999. I grew up here in Omaha. And 16 years later, from that camp, you know, from the moment my dad read that Bible verse to me, I'm a college graduate. My whole entire family is, thank you.
But in 1999, we all came from Ethiopia because our country was tortured with civil war, 21 years of civil war, and it's sad to believe even to this day, the Sudanese leaders aren't putting their hand together and look back what the country has gone through. It's like, what a joke. I mean, you have your own country and still looking for what's going in your pocket. I'm profoundly grateful to be in this country. And just like any African who are here, we're all proud to be here. And I'm sure all of us understand this is a country mix of multi. Okay, we all come from different faiths, different religion, different background, and we all call America the land of opportunity for all of us.
It was based on what the elders told us, men and women, sitting down like we are today with Omaha Police Department. Videos were made in Nwe and Arabic. They were using them even in some of the camps before coming to this country. How to live in the US, what is acceptable as discipline and domestic violence. It was through that domestic violence that the women told me that they would like to have a place that they trust, where they can keep their children and go to school and go to work. Just like he said, most of us are from poor homes. We send money to our parents. The men were able to work, the women were not able to. With nothing in my pocket, I started international daycare. Because when I saw the Sudanese, not just Sudanese, but the Somalians, and the Somalians case were very serious because during that time, we were just talking about 9/11. Being Muslim, most people didn't want to talk to them. So when I saw what those people were going through, there's no way I was going to sit back.
Two such men are also two of the lost boys of the Sudan. Network coverage like this from NBC, ABC, and CBS dominated.
Yeah, it's tough.
A young girl said hi. The boys spent 3 months struggling to make their way to Ethiopia.
We take for granted what we have here in America. Every documentary that I saw, every article I read had one central theme in it about the refugee camps. And that is that living in America, home of the free, land of the brave, is equally as traumatizing as living in the refugee camps. Equally as traumatizing. We take things for granted, that we know how to do things. They never saw things that we have seen before. Think about going to the grocery store. You have the UN bringing food into you, and all of a sudden you go into a grocery store? Can you comprehend that?
Well, in my part of Africa, we normally, when people come to your home, you can present wine as a sign of welcome. But at the same time, most importantly, when you're having marriages or having a bond or buying a land or doing anything that is very serious and very important, wine must be presented. And usually when the wine is passed, it's a sign of friendship. And then usually the elders will say a prayer before they drink the wine. What are we thankful for today? Maybe that would be our own form of prayer. So, okay, today I'm thankful for, and then go around, and then we can now consume the wine. That completes our prayer.
Minnesota Humanities. Ability.
Perspective.
Strength. Blessings.
Friendships.
Africa. Courage. Thank you.
Now we can consume our wine.
Thank you.
African story is Black history, and Black history is African story. It's time to gather around and hear every word. It's time to gather around, then go tell the word of African story. It's Black history. And with that, today you're all a part of Africa. And some of you have stepped out here just as beautiful as you can be, wearing some of the tapestries and telling the story.
Just for North Omaha kids, it's everyone, you know, so we have to realize that each immersion that we go to, how can we accept each and every individual, because we're all human when it comes down to it. And then the last thing we talked about was the name, of how to respect their name. You don't know the meaning of the name, and you know, you can only continue to try. And that really had me thinking, because I have different cultures with my third graders, and so sometimes I don't get it right, but they're not afraid to correct me either.
Actually,
and
young man, John Rule.
Yep.
And I spoke to him afterwards, because one of the statements he made, if I recall it correctly, is that didn't he come to the United States when he was just a couple months old? Right, but he said he wants to go back because he misses it. And I told him, I said, that's powerful to miss a place you don't have a personal memory of. And I encouraged him to write about that. Sorry, language arts teacher. So, but I encouraged him to write about that. I said that, I mean, just when he made that statement, I got goosebumps. I said that could be a powerful piece. Absolutely.
It's been a great day because you get to learn about the cultures that you don't normally get to learn about other than asking kids, and you never get to read about it, or when you're taking college classes get an expanded version. So having Minnesota Humanities come and partner with OPS is a great opportunity, and I think that everyone should get the chance to do it.
After this experience, I have a better understanding of Africa, and it also gives me a chance to go back and find out more about Africa that I did not know about the different countries and the people there.
I learned, and I have a bigger appreciation for what people go through and struggles as being immigrants. As being an immigrant myself, I can perfectly understand the struggle that they go through.
Today was just awesome. This is the first immersion we have done for Africa. I just love it because I got to see other African countries, other African people who were here. They were able to talk about refugees. I learned a lot about the refugees. I work with those kind of kids, and I think I'll be able to work with them even more now. I just loved it.